stand up Nunyani present. There's another one that no. Okay.
Can you
But
tell?
this is just to make it fun.
Can you tell me what the effects of volcanoes and geophysical stuff would have on global warming?
I mentioned that Mount Minituba, when it exploded a few years ago, there was a volcano on the Philippines, that the temperature temporarily changed by 1.1 degree Celsius or Fahrenheit. The Krakatau exploded in 1884, I believe, and there was ash around the world for 7 years. The temperature dropped significantly, and there was crop failure. Before that, we had an even bigger volcanic explosion, Mount Tambora on Sumbawa. I do not, there's no detail on that one, but apparently, another one, Mount Minituba created more pollution than all mankind, all factories, all people driving SUVs combined. That is just one volcanic explosion. And we have more than one. This is just baloney. And that there are people, representatives and senators from our state and from other states that do not take the time when they have to spend $1 trillion or not spend $1 trillion. That, I think, is embarrassing for the representatives from whichever state that voted for cap and trade, global warming, whatever you want to call it. Tony?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I just have more of a comment than a question, but I'm glad our speaker tonight referenced to Dr. Blick from the University of Oklahoma. I think some time ago, I think on Southwest Radio Church, he made a comment to the effect that carbon dioxide is so important that he said if the concentration reduced below 200 parts per million, right now it's around 385 or thereabouts. If it went below 200 parts per million, all plant life on the planet would be unsustainable. So I think that's just another point to underscore about the importance of having carbon dioxide. Like I say, it's more of a comment just than a question.
I do have some more slides, but because of the time limit, I reduced some of them, and that was one of the slides I have in my presentation, but it is blacked out. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Blick, that you have heard of him.
I just have an observation also. I remember Al Gore after the 2000 election, he was very depressed, looking for a home, looking for something to do. Happened to have a friend at church that worked at NCAR up in Boulder in long-term weather prediction. He worked there for many, many years. And they were, as I recall, he said there's like 20 models that they use on their supercomputers to do long-term forecasting. His conclusion after many, many years of working there, and he didn't have a lot of support, there was no evidence that he could show that there was any predictability at all in long-term weather forecasting. And but his colleagues didn't necessarily agree, and they found an ear in Al Gore. They were close friends, and lo and behold, we see a political change occurring in Mr. Gore at this particular time. And one thing that occurs to me is that funding for research only occurs if you have a problem to solve. You don't have a problem, you don't get money. You have a problem, you get money. So political consequences, business consequences, I think I don't know, I wouldn't say they were planned that way, but it was a fortuitous following that occurred because of the political winds that changed at that particular time. My observation, and like I say, I have a friend who's kind of in the know of things.
I mentioned that, I believe before, that there's a similarity between teachers in school that are allowed to teach about creation, but if they do, the ACLU files a lawsuit, and the school should win. But winning or losing, they lose, because it costs money to protect themselves. So they would say, okay, no talk about creation in school, to avoid the expense of defending person. The same thing is true with the university is getting money to do some research to find global warming is a fact. I'm sorry, I don't find any. Al Gore is wrong. There isn't any. The university loses their funding, and that guy loses his job. Now he has a family, a wife, and kids to feed. What do you do? My intent was not to be high-powered, but I'm trying to be practical, and hopefully I have done that. And with that, I thank you for the opportunity to share with you about global warming.